Colorado snuck away in their home opener against North Dakota State with a 31-26 victory, and I thought in Coach Prime's first game of his second year that Colorado was still the more undisciplined team. Now there was a play I believe late in the second quarter that led to a North Dakota State field goal that it was 3rd and long, and Shiloh Sanders ended up hitting the player out of bounds that didn't even have the ball, and ended up giving him a free first down and a field goal for North Dakota State heading into half. There were too many pre-snap penalties and too many just weird penalties by Colorado that still made me think that they're not the most disciplined team in the world, which is as expected, but to me it seems like this team is still a little bit more selfish and a little bit more selfless. Now, Shedeur Sanders played a great game, and that's mostly due to Travis Hunter, but Shedeur is still finding every open man. It looked like Jimmy Horn Jr. and the rest of the receivers were just wide open. Now, before we dive into Colorado, we got to talk about how good North Dakota State was. As Nick Saban said last week on game day, the last thing that he wants to do is play against a really good FCS school on week 1. This team comes in well coached, this team comes in efficient, this team comes in more disciplined than anyone else that you'll have to play. Now, the big thing if you watch this game that the Bison were doing throughout the first half was controlling and eating the clock. If you look at the end of the game stats, they had the ball for almost a quarter longer than Colorado, which was absolutely insane. So what North Dakota State was doing in the first half was being very efficient with the ball. They weren't looking to get it all in one play, and while they would sometimes pick up a couple 1st and 10s, they left themselves in very manageable 2nd and 3rd down situations. They were very rarely behind the sticks, and that's when going into halftime, Coach Prime had said, hey, we need to stop the run. We need to do this and that. We need to be more disciplined. We need to focus. We need to play better defense, and that's exactly what they did. Now, in the third quarter, I do want to say North Dakota State looked a little bit out of sort, but I guess that's what you can expect from an FCS school going up against a team that brings in 32 new players a year. Now, while North Dakota State did have a chance to win the game at the end, it was basically that third quarter right there that made me think, oh, this is going in Colorado's direction. The drives that they had ended up at 2nd and 12 and 3rd and 8 instead of where they were at earlier in the game at 2nd and 5 and 3rd and 2. They were getting behind the sticks, getting them less ability to run the ball, and while Cam Miller was doing really great at moving the chains, it wasn't enough to get through that third quarter. Now, heading to the fourth, it seemed like anytime the Buffaloes needed a big play, they just relied on Travis Hunter or any of the other receivers for the matter of fact. The one thing I want to say I was pretty disappointed by was Ohio State transfer Dallin Hayden really did not have a good game. 9 carries for 20 yards if you look at the stats, not efficient, not good. And even running the ball, it looked like, okay, he'd break a tackle and get 2 yards. Like, it didn't look like what he would get if he was at Ohio State. Maybe that's a part of Colorado's not as good offensive line or not as good a skill position players as what Ohio State has, but it felt to me like I thought Dallin Hayden was going to be a key to this offense, and he was basically a non-factor. Now back to Travis Hunter. This guy is absolutely insane. I don't know what his exact snap count was, but it had to have been over 100 because I think going into halftime, he was at something like 70 or 80 snaps already. So this guy was insane, right? 3 touchdowns, over 100 receiving yards, couple tackles on defense, in coverage most of the time. And the play that really cemented it was that touchdown to go up by 11 because it was 3rd and goal, and it looked like, hey, Colorado, they have a chance to walk off this field with just a field goal and give North Dakota State a chance to come down and score and maybe tie or go for 2 and win the game. That's obviously not what happened, as Travis Hunter ran a good fade route, and then Shedeur Sanders just threw an okay ball, but Travis Hunter grabbing it with his right hand, just like without even being able to see the ball, pulls it in with one hand and gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. Now that put the Buffaloes up by 11, and I do want to let you guys know I had a bet on North Dakota State plus 11.5, and I'm just thinking, please do not come down and score and then go for 2 and miss it, and that's exactly what happened. North Dakota State came down and scored like that, and then they got it to 31-26, and they trotted out that 2-point team, and they ran my least favorite 2-point conversion play. I think the only time I've ever seen this play work was when LSU beat Alabama like 2 years ago on that Mason Taylor touchdown. I hate bootlegs on 2-point conversions. I really don't get why you're going to have your quarterback roll out when the guy's been playing good all day. Let him manage the offense, let him run a read option, or let him run an RPO, because the play that you should not work is let's eliminate half the field over there and just key in on one guy over there. I feel like on bootlegs, you're rolling out to the right side or whatever strong arm your quarterback is, and you have 2 options. You got the guy in the flat, or you got the guy coming over the top, it seems like, on either like an out route or a corner or something like that. I just don't like it because it seems like, oh, if that one option's gone, you got to make a really tough throw, or maybe you can run it in, but it seems like every single team plays the bootleg extremely well, on defense at least, on 2-point conversions. It's my least favorite play. Obviously, it doesn't work. The quarterback throws it right in the dirt, but that led to Colorado getting the ball back with about 2:30, 2:40 left in the game, which they then pick up a first down with 1:40 left. And this is where people on the internet also pointed out, this is terrible clock management by whoever's running the offense. I'm looking at this like 1:40 left. North Dakota State has 1 timeout. All Colorado has to do is run the ball 3 straight times. Now, with only 1 timeout, that means those other 2 running plays you have are going to waste 40 seconds because the clock resets to 40, which adds up to 80 seconds, not even counting the 5 seconds of just running the play. So to break that down, 80 seconds are coming off of just game clock of you standing there waiting to snap the ball, saying, hike. The other 5 seconds per play is just you running the ball. So if I do my math correctly, that's 90 seconds that they could have ran off before even running that 3rd down play, which I guess I don't know when North Dakota State would use their timeout, but that would have left Colorado with a punt with about 5 to 10 seconds left, which is basically no time at all. ball. Instead, North Dakota State gets the ball back at their own 5 or 8 yard line, whatever it was, because Colorado decides to throw it deep on first down. I really don't get that. It's basically Miami and Georgia Tech all over again. Run the football, even take a knee, and you're still punting with 12 to 15 seconds left, still getting the ball in around the same field position. I really don't understand that move by Colorado. It could have cost them the game, and it almost did, as the Hail Mary for North Dakota State ends up 5 yards short of a touchdown. That would have been an insane ending, but hey, North Dakota State plus 11.5 was a lock, so we were happy with that outcome.